Hi friends, Kelly here to share how I added some layers to a cut file that was gifted to us by Paige at her Happy Scrappy Place Facebook group. There were 9 in total. Paige gifted them so we'd have some fun things to work with while we're stuck at home. So thank you, Paige. That was so nice of you. And you can see a close-up of a layout I shared last week. Some people had questions on how I added this shadow and made it look 3D on my layout. So I used the beautiful Bloom Street, that's paper 22 in the background, and the stay home fringing was done with AC cardstock. So I'm going to use this cut file, another one gifted by Paige. It's called Home Stacked. And I opened it and centered it on my mat in Silhouette Studio. And I'm going to select it and use the offset feature to create an outline all the way around. It's going to outline everything, of course. And we only want the outside line, not the inside letters. So we're going to select it and ungroup it. We're going to release compound path so that we can drag the letters off the mat and be left with just an outline. I'm going to leave the little bits that cut in between the letters because you do want those. So I just erase the letters. Going to group it again, pardon me, and so that I can center it. And I'd like to change it to another color so you can see when I put them back together, you can see how it became a shadow of the original cut file. So when I center the original over top of our shadow, there you have it. Now you also need the letters, just the inside parts, so that you can add fringing to those. And again, we're going to use the original cut file. We'll just move the shadow off the mat. And with the original cut file, we want to, I like to work with a copy all the time and save the original. And so we're going to select it, release the compound path, so we can work with each letter individually. And I can do that by dragging, this time we're going to drag the outside line off the mat and the bits that show up in between the letters, because we won't be using them. We'll just erase them. And then we're going to select those letters and make an offset. So these are the inside cut of the letters from the cut file. And when you offset them, I typically like to make the offset around 0.70 or even a little bit bigger, so that when you cut these letters, the cut actually lies just underneath the original cut file. So we'll drag off the letters. We don't need those because we're going to be cutting the offset. And I'm going to make them another color so that when we put everything back together, you can see how everything falls in place. So there's our shadow. Let's put that underneath the letters you just created. And over top, the original cut file covers up the letters that you made. Now the yellow part is the part that you would cover in fringing, and they can be separated just by ungrouping them. And so one at a time, you would just fringe. I actually fringed 1/2-inch strips and laid them on top of each letter, or in this case, a heart, and then glued that underneath the cut file. And that's basically it. So you could use the same technique to actually make the back paper backing for your cut file. If you just didn't like, if it was more intricate than this cut file and you didn't want to do a whole bunch of tracing. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And thanks for coming by. Bye-bye.